The only sales training you'll ever need for selling high ticket services in your clinic. And my goal in this video is to give you the entire consultation blueprint for you to turn 70 to 80% of all the prospects into long-term patients that commit for a treatment plan or package ranging between 3 to 10,000. So yeah, without further ado, a quick background also onto kind of who am I. I run a marketing agency and we help medical aesthetic clinics and med spas with their client acquisition and sales process. So yeah, we managed over $1 million in ad spend in just 2023. So we do know what we're talking about, and we've partnered with over 50 clinics, helping them kind of install our blueprint for scaling their clinic, which does also kind of partially include sales training. So yeah, let's get right into it. Now, in consultations, there are seven beliefs that get a prospect to buy and commit to a treatment plan, but therefore also seven beliefs that prevent prospects from buying. And your goal is to ask skilled questions and precise questions before you transition into the pitch, where you kind of introduce the different options you've got so that you can prevent objections around those beliefs in the end. In the end, if you look at the top 0.01% of all salespeople, it doesn't matter in which niche or industry they're in, and you like actually have a listen or a look at the way they do sales, you quickly notice that they're not super good with objection handling and all that stuff, but the way they ask their questions in the end of the call, the prospect just doesn't have any objections to even like they already like all the objections have already been prevented, and that's really the goal where we want to head to. Now, those seven beliefs, as you can already see on the screen, are pain, doubt, cost, desire, money, support, and trust. And notice that all these are predicted on the problem. So business is about problem solving, and that's because when you solve a problem, you create value, and money follows value. So if we know that to be true, sales is simply the transference of certainty that you can solve a problem for someone else. And if there's no problem, there's no sale. It's as simple as that. Therefore, also, and I've got another video on that. If that's something you want to look at, go to my YouTube channel and check it out. And when it comes to providing value and selling high ticket packages, your ultimate goal should be to charge a premium. And ultimately, the more value you provide within your treatments, within your package or treatment plan, the higher you or the more of a premium price you can charge for it, because ultimately you're solving a bigger problem for them. But anyways, that's a topic for another video. Let's get right into the seven buying beliefs. So the first one is pain. Now, the prospect must believe they have a problem that is keeping them from getting what they want. This is also the same reason why we want to ask for their problem and what made them come in initially on the phone, but also when they actually come in for the consultation. If there's no problem, I repeat myself, but anyways, if there's no problem, there is no sale. The entire conversation is centered around the problem. And it's funny because my mentor always told me sell like a doctor, because the first thing you really want to do is you want to diagnose the pain and where it comes from. And from there, you want to go a few questions deeper, but probably a few of you that are watching this video right now are doctors, which is kind of ironic, but still, you really want to focus on diagnosing the pain first. Now, as soon as you've got the pain, then we want to label them with the problem and then continue by probing into their problem. A lot of prospects will give you like a kind of a smoke screen reason. So like, oh yeah, um, I'm not comfortable with or that's probably even deeper, but yeah, I want to get rid of fat, or I saw the promotion, or whatever it is. Like that's not their real like reason. That's not their why. That's not their pain. You want to dive deeper, follow up with questions such as, hey, what do you mean by that? So, oh, okay, has that had an impact on you? If somebody tells you like, yeah, I've been struggling with stubborn fat pockets and I'm really uncomfortable with that, you want to probe that pain. Hey, what do you mean by that? How has that had an impact on you? Oh, wow. For how long has this been going on for? You want to ask those kind of questions and really get them to emotionally open up. And this pain can also, or problem, can also be thought of as the gap between their current and desired situation. So that's kind of what we've got pulled up here on the screen, which is something which I call the bridge. And to be honest, I've got this from my mentor, but it's just an amazing graphic to illustrate the point. And if you're really able to truly understand the gap, this will change the way you think as a business owner regarding sales. And the gap is really the gap between where the prospect is right now, meaning the red square on the screen, and where they want to be, the kind of hell island and heaven island, where they want to be the blue square. And the bigger the gap, the bigger the bridge, and the bridge is your offer, your service, your treatments, meaning the more of a, you could say, transformation we're selling to them, or the more value we can provide for them. So our goal in sales is to close this gap and to bring the prospect from point A to B. You, your offer, or your services are the bridge that gets the prospect their desired outcome. And you're the solution to their problem. And that's why we want to make sure we properly establish what they want to achieve and what's keeping them from getting it, which is ultimately the pain deriving from the problem. If the problem is not elicited, they will not see the value or need for the investment, and they will not see you as the authority who can lead them to fix their problem. A lot of you out there are expecting that if a new prospect comes in, that, oh yeah, they're going to buy. You're going into the conversation or with the expectation that they're ready to buy and commit to a treatment plan. When in reality is that if you tell them that they need to spend thousands of dollars just to achieve their desired results and maintain those results, they will probably think about it or not do it in the end. That's why it's important that they see the value and need for the investment. Now, the second belief is doubt. The prospect must believe that they cannot fix this problem on their own, or that attempting to do so would waste unnecessary resources, meaning time and energy or money, given the other avenues available to them. So we want to get them into the buying pocket, which is a place where the prospect believes that the transformation is possible, but only with your help. And that's key. Because if they believe they can just do it on their own, they can just achieve the same results without spending thousands of dollars with you, or they feel like they could at least try to do so, then you'll lose the sale. And this is why they will buy it from you specifically. And this just helps you understand where to nudge prospects in alignment with what they're looking for. So in their current state, they probably don't think it's possible. And that's where we want to use stories, show case studies, and proof to show them people you've helped who were in the same situation. Now, on the other side, if they think they can probably do it themselves, and that's where we want to start creating doubt and asking skilled questions and reframe their beliefs. So for example, if somebody wants to do a body transformation, they want to get rid of fat, they want to lose weight, and so on, and they believe they can do this on their own by going to the gym, you need to start creating doubt. And of course, do that ethically. Only do that if you genuinely believe you can help the prospect. But that could look like, oh, okay, so you do actually have like 1 to 2 hours to go to the gym every day. Okay, and I mean, how would that affect your family life? Oh, so you would probably go after work, which is like 9 to 6, and then you go to the gym like 7 to 8, and then your kids are already sleeping, and you'd go to sleep too. Like, walk me through that. Like, you get the point. Like, you want to install, or we want to kind of break their beliefs or reframe their beliefs to make them think that they cannot achieve the result on their own. Like, if they genuinely can, like, again, please sell ethically. If they genuinely can solve it their own and you don't think it's necessary for them to do the investment, tell them. Like, be direct, be transparent. But in a lot of cases, you'll find that, like, it'll help the prospect way more if they actually go with you, if that makes sense. Now, this ties back towards the treatment or package you want to help the prospect with. And if we sell, for example, body sculpting, we don't necessarily just want to break their beliefs that they have to do a treatment, because otherwise they'll have so many different options to consider. So, for example, it could be, let's say we've got EMA Sculpt, and then they've also got other options such as liposuction and whatever, and they'll start hopping around looking for the best treatment for the best price. And that's not what we want. We want them to make sure we prevent this by positioning our treatment as the only solution. And this is what we kind of do in the pitch, which I'll get to later on in a bit more detail. Um, but yeah, we have to make sure that they not just believe that they cannot do it alone, they have to believe that our solution is the best thing with the least amount of friction and effort on their end to achieve their goal. And hey, sometimes that is already there and sometimes it's not. It always depends on the prospect. If the person is already aware that your solution is the best, you don't have to necessarily create doubt. Now, the next one is cost. The prospect must believe that doing nothing is far more painful than the investment in time and money to fix this problem. This eliminates time objections and create urgencies. The current and future pain of doing nothing has to be far greater than the pain of time and money into your offer slash investment for the prospect to take action. If there is no cost in their belief, then they will not take action. They will just, oh yeah, they at a certain point they'll probably just say, look, I don't think it's really necessary to go through a change. And this brings us back to why it's so important in the beginning to really get them to emotionally open up about their problem, because otherwise it's possible that they're not aware of their actual problem and situation and they don't see the cost. The prospect, that's the fourth one. Desire is the fourth belief. The prospect must believe solving the problem would yield a better future situation than where they're currently at. Now, this comes back to us building the gap between where they're currently at and where they want to be. Typically, we just need to make sure we would know what they want, why they want what they want, and a number assigned to what they want if possible. This just helps, and how getting what they want would impact other areas of their life. Like, that's kind of what it really comes down to. You can pretty much take exactly those questions and kind of reframe them and use them in your consultation. Ultimately, we want to find out their desired outcome and result. The next one is money. Money is the belief that the prospect has the resources and willingness to solve the problem. If they don't have the resources, that's a condition, not an objection. And if they don't have the willingness, that goes back to there not being enough cost. And that's a big thing, because a lot of people think, oh yeah, they don't have the money, they're just not affluent enough. Like, in some cases, yes, that's the case. But in a lot of cases, or in a lot of scenarios, it's more of they don't have the resources, which is a logistical problem. It's not an objection, meaning they don't have enough cash up front, or it's just not worth to them. And that's a big one. It's, in a lot of cases, it's just not worth to them. And that's why it's so important we make sure they see the need for investment, or the need to change something is bigger than doing nothing, if that makes sense. Because ultimately, in the end, there are three reasons clients won't buy. They don't like you, they don't believe in your ability to solve their problem, or they genuinely can't afford it. And we want to leave the price objection to the very end, because if we build up all six other beliefs and then get to the last one, which is kind of the money, you will be able to easily close them. Because again, that the only thing they kind of are able to object to then, which is, again, it's not an objection, is they don't have the cash. And you'll find, or you'll be able to kind of move around that things by offering it financing options and so on, etc. So first, they have to believe in your ability to solve their problem, or it gets complicated. And if they don't have the money, that's when you can discuss financing options or payment plans, as already mentioned. The next one is support. Prospects sometimes come up with the objection that it's their spouse or partner they need to talk about, and that this support person doesn't support them in fixing the problem. We want to make sure we prevent an objection like that by asking questions such as, and that has to be like in your discovery phase within your line of questioning. Hey, have you and your partner talked about this? And do they support you in doing XYZ? And if they leave the room without putting down a payment or deposit after saying this, they will 99.9% not get back to you. Like, I know it's an objection a lot of people will have. They need to tell their husbands about it and whatever. But it's essential, if you it's essential for you to understand that you can prevent those objections if you ask the right line of questioning. And I'll get to the reason why this works later on in the video. But ultimately, by asking those questions, you get them to prevent those kind of objections in the end. The next one is trust, or the last one is trust. The prospect needs to trust you. Do they see your solution as clearly different, unique, or superior to similar methods they've tried in the past? We don't want them to object with, hey, I've tried this before and it didn't work for me. Like, that's the worst objection possible. Now, in the sales conversation, or in the conversation you've got with them, there are two types of sales we can make. One is based on the product or the service, the treatment, and the other one is based on the method of success. We want to make sure they believe that our method of success or treatment, like the actual like device or whatever, is the best for their solution, or for them to achieve their solution, and that it's the only way to do that is through you. And the buy-in method on the or the buy-in on the method, that's kind of your pitch, which we'll talk about in another video. But ultimately, if they, for example, if they've done liposuction before, and like you didn't ask that in your line of questioning, you didn't like actually kind of explore their past pains or past what they've tried in the past, and in the end you kind of pitch them, or you want to sell them on a liposuction. Like, that's maybe a bad example because they'll know what you want to, like, what it's about, but you present them with the treatment plan that you think would really help them. But ultimately, it's got some sort of session or treatment in there that they've tried before and they were really, really unhappy with. That's just because they don't believe that, or that will install the belief in them that they don't trust the method of success, meaning they don't believe that the actual package itself is going to get them to their desired result. So they need to trust in the method, they need to trust in you. Ultimately, otherwise, it will not be a sale. And breaking down how this works is we want to think of these beliefs as like a checklist. If we want to check the boxes, or we want to check the boxes on all those beliefs before we transition into the close. And the chances they're going to buy are so, so high if we do that. We build those beliefs through what's called Socratic dialogue. And this is really just a psychological explanation on how this works. And yeah, this can really be defined as the process of asking skilled questions and helping the prospect, and that's the important part here, to come to their conclusion that it was their own idea. And really the bias behind that is the consistency bias, which is the one of the biggest things Robert Cialdini talked about in his book Influence. But the consistency bias is what makes this so powerful. When you get the prospect expressing that they hold the above 7 beliefs, and they actually have to tell you, not just think and whatever, they are telling you those things and they're reinforcing it to themselves, which will ultimately create that consistency in their behavior. Meaning, in the end, if they kind of expressed all those 7 beliefs to you, they will, after the conversation, they will not like say something different as to what they've said before. That's just the way it works. That's the way we humans work. Making them speak it out loud and consistently is humans' like highest driver in behavior. Meaning, in the end, it'll simply feel incongruent for the prospect not to move forward at the end. Now, when it comes to installing this in your sales process or consultation conversation, take the closer framework as kind of a reference. So the way this works is you can kind of take all the letters CLOSER, C, first clarify why they're there, get their pain out and all that kind of stuff, label them with a problem, make sure you've got the right problem, they need to reinforce it, then overview their past pain, have a look at what they've tried in the past, then sell the vacation, which is kind of your pitch, transition and pitch. Then E, explain their concerns away. Maybe they do still have like logistical questions or some objections to handle for you. And then lastly, or reinforce their decision. Say thank you, maybe send them like a handwritten letter or a personalized thank you video. Those are the small things that are really going to help with their attention that a lot of people are not doing. Now, I'm going to go over this closer framework with the exact example questions and basically the script we give our clients for their consultations in another video. So if you want to check that out, just make sure to subscribe, not miss the video and generally future content I'll bring out. Now, let's do a quick recap. The 7 beliefs are pain, doubt, cost, desire, money, support, and trust. It's important that within your conversation, you cover all those points. Otherwise, there will be objections in the end. And yeah, by really following what I try to teach you or train you here in this video, you can very easily close prospects into long-term patients, sell them on a treatment plan, and so on. It's just important that you actually hold up the 7 beliefs, or you cover all the 7 beliefs, because otherwise you'll very, very quickly have objections in the end. And objection handling, like again, the difference between good salespeople and like fucking excellent salespeople, if that makes sense, is exactly that. Like, it's not about objection handling or rebuttals. It's about breaking down or covering all those beliefs and having the right line of questioning. It's not about your pitch. Of course, the pitch or the presentation also actually makes a difference, but it's not about, let's say, your objection handling and whatever. It's literally mostly, or the biggest part of the sale is one within the line of questioning. So if you master that, you can get the sale way more easily. No, but that's all for this video. Now, if you're struggling to get new patients through the door, that's kind of what we help our clients with, and you can't figure out how to book more appointments, you've tried working with agencies before, whatever, you can click the first link in the description. Don't worry, there's no case study, free webinar, or small mini course. It's just a training video of me telling you how we, or what the process looks like for our clients and how we help them solve this problem and scale their clinic. Now, I don't mind if you click it or not, but just feel free to check it out if you're open to new ways of getting more patients. Anyways, that's all for the video. If you like the video or haven't liked the video already, there's a button for that, so be sure to press it if you didn't yet. Comment any video ideas or requests you have down below so that I know what you guys want to hear out there, and subscribe if you want to have more content or engage with the content. But yeah, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. And yeah, take care.